everyone, welcome back. Of course, I hope you're already in for some new DIY inspiration. If you're new here and you see me for the first time, welcome. My name is Yanni and I'm doing this all about Christmas channel. I keep it short. On this channel you will find seasonal DIYs and daily decor DIYs, so enough to see. Do you want to see even more DIYs? Come on over to my description box. There you find all the links for our DIY channels, so go check it out. And if you like this content, of course, I hope you will subscribe to my channel, because subscribing doesn't cost you anything, and give me a thumbs up. Enough talking for today. I'm going to take out my tumbling tile blocks again. Of course, I hope you join me. And if you're only here for watching, of course, have fun watching. And you see already on this table, you see what we will need for this DIY. We need, of course, our tumbling tile blocks. We need some wood glue, some paint at your choice, some glue sticks, some scissors, black paint, of course, but you can use any color you like. My white color paint and my glue gun, but most of the time we will use the wood glue because it's more sturdiness. So, but if you have another glue, it's also fine too. This is what we need for this DIY, and we are going to try to make some snowmen, but with a twist. For our snowman, we are going to take 4 blocks like this, and we take another 4 blocks like this, and we are going to use 2 half blocks. So very easy. What we're going to do, we're going to glue with some wood glue, or maybe you can use your glue gun if you want to work a little faster. We're going to do this one with some glue, and this one, and the last, and we're going to do here the same, and this one the same, and this, and the last. And we're going to first place this one together, this one, and this one, and then you're going to get a half block, and you're going to place it over here this way, squeeze it, and remove the glue you don't need. And of course you also can do this with a piece of kitchen towel. And we're going to place this one together, and the half block this way, and again squeeze it, and this way, and of course readjust it so you have a nice straight line. And we let this dry for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to glue it together. Both of the pieces are dried in for at least a couple of minutes. So I'm going to make one small line like this, and I'm going to place it down again and squeeze them together and let this dry also, but this will be drying for 1.5 hours. Then we're going to do the first part of our snowman. Of course you see a little bend over here, but I just did cut myself, so don't worry about it. It's only it's really nothing. So I'm going to place this aside, and then we're going to make the first piece of our snowman. For the under piece of our snowman, we are going to get 4 blocks like this, and we're going to glue them on the sides, on the smaller side, and we're going to do here a little small line, and we're going to do here a small line, and then we're going to place them to each other this way. We are going to do this a second time. Of course, one little line over here, a line on this one, a line on this one, and then we're going to place them again, and we take number 4 and again squeeze it this way, and we're going to squeeze it this way. And now we're going to do some glue on this side, on each block a little bit this way, and we're going to place it and turn it over and press it together on top of each other and squeeze it, and make sure that you have a straight line, because when we turn it up, it has to be a nice straight line like this. This is already the middle part. Now we're going to get 3 blocks, and this will be number 1 and a number 2, and we're going to do this one also, but we are going to place a half block on it. So 3 blocks over here, I will place this one over here. You can see it a little better. And we're going to do again a half block and place it, squeeze it again, and like this. And we're going to, this is number one, but of course on the other side we need the same. So we do again a little glue over here, some glue over here, and the last again. And we're going to place them together, and we take a half block again. And these are just half blocks, like you know, from one total block like this. I just cut a couple of them in half. So, and we're going to place them on top of each other and squeeze it. And we make sure that we have a straight line. Of course, I need a little bit more glue on this one. I'm going to give it a little bit more sturdiness. So, because I want to be sure that my snowman is not falling out of each other. So I'm going to do some glue. And we have this over here. We do some glue on here, and a little on here. We're going to place it again, and we do it in the middle of our middle piece of our snowman. This is one, but we have here the little block, the half block, and I'm going to make sure that the other half block will be on the other side this way. So I'm going to do some glue, because I'm going to turn it over already. I'm going to do some glue over here, and over here, and I'm going to remove it over here, and we're going to glue this together also. And make sure that you have a nice straight line, and then you get already this. We're going to place it over here, and we are going to get now a full two block, and we're going to do a half block. So one and number two, and we're going to take a half block again, like this, squeeze it, and this is already one. We're going to make the second one. And this is one, and this one, and place it together, and we're going to squeeze this one together over here. And now we do the same. We're going to have here a half block, so I make sure that I have on this side the other half block, because I don't want to have them next to each other almost. So I'm going to do some glue this way, place it again, and place it in the middle. And this is already one, and here is our other half block. So I want to be sure that this block will be on this side. So again, I'm doing some glue on this block, on this, and a little on this. Place it again on top of each other this way, squeeze it, press it down. And now the only thing what we need for the under piece of our snowman is 2 blocks in the whole block. So we only have to glue this one. This is already one. Squeeze it, and another 2, because we need a front and a back side. So this is already number 2. Squeeze it, press it down this way. And I'm going to turn it and make sure that we have a straight line. I'm going to put some glue, some little dots over here, and we're going to place it on this side, and we're going to do it with this one the same. Then we already have our first piece of our snowman. So we have to squeeze it and get it a little in the middle, and this is what you already get. So this will be the first part of the body. And now we need the top part of the body. For his head, we are going to use 3 blocks. And we are going to give always again the side lines, a little glue, and this side line. And now we are going to place them also together. And again, squeeze it. And this is one. And we're going to make the second one, because in the middle we always use a double layer to give it a little bit of thickness, because or else it will be very okay. You see already I forget a 1 block, and this is number 3. And again, we are going to glue a couple of dots on top of this block and on this block, and we're going to place it very easily on top of each other and squeeze it, press it down, and then we can place it straight up, and we make again a nice line. So this is one. Now we're going to go for 2.5. Of course, we do 1 block this way. We are going to take a half block on this way, and then we're going to close it up with again a full block, and we get this one, the half block in the middle, and we squeeze it. We're going to get another full block. We're going to take a half block this way, and we're going to close it up. Well, we're going to close it up with a full block again, and this way, squeeze it again. We are going to give it some glue over here. I think a little more. Of course, you can do as much glue as you like. So I'm going to place it upside down, and for the middle part you get the 2 little piece of the half piece against each other this way. And everyone who was paying attention already know she is going totally wrong. And you are so right. I did glue them together, but of course I have to get my middle piece, and I'm going to get some glue on this one, and I'm going to place it over here, and I'm going to do the same on this side. Of course, they belong over here and not on top of each other. You see already, if you're not paying attention, I'm totally going wrong. So what we're going to do for this side and this side, we're going to take a 2 block. Very easy. I think I can go wrong with this one. So, and this together, and we're going to do the last and this, and squeeze it again, and we're going to again squeeze it again, and we're going to give it a little glue on each block, and this one, and we're going to place it again on this side. But I think you already know now where to place your pieces, and this is already the head, because I leave it on 2 blocks over here because we need some eyes, some nose, and of course that's why and this is looking this way. We are going to glue it on the top of our middle piece, and you see here we have our middle piece, and we are going to do some glue on this side, or on this side, it doesn't matter. We do some glue over here, and we're going to turn it over, a little glue here and there, so it can be very steady on top of each other. So we're going to turn it over, and we're going to place it. I have to look that I have it in the middle, this way. Of course, I have to remove a little piece, and he has to go a little bit to the right, and this way. And now if everything is correctly, he is almost totally fitting on top of each other. You see, this is already the body of our snowman and his head. Now we go further with the top, of course, his snowman's head. For the head, we are going to use 4 blocks, because we're going to make a square. First, I try to do 4 of this one, but this is wide enough, but this is too short. And if you use 1 block, you see already, then you have to go saw again to make a nice piece over here. And I didn't like that, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to glue them together this way. And I'm going to do this with some glue gun, because it's a little bit easier. We just make a very simple square. And of course, you can also do this with wood glue. It doesn't matter, but I'm taking for this one, I'm going to take my glue gun. So I'm going to do some glue on the top over here, and I'm going to place it on here, and squeeze it and press it down. I'm going to do some glue on this side of the top. I'm going to place a block over here. Very easy. And if you close it up with this one, you see already you can close it up and make a nice square. We're going to do some glue on this side and a little piece on the inside over here. And then you can squeeze very easily your block in and make sure that you try as best as you can a nice square. Sometimes the blocks are a little bit uneven, but this is already the first part of our head. So we are going to go for 2 blocks. So we do on the sidelines a thin line of glue, and we are going to glue this together, squeeze it, press it down. We're going to do another one, a thin line, and we're going to place it again on top of each other, squeeze it, press it down. We're going to go for number 3 because with a square we need 4. And again, this is number 3, and the last one is number 4. And very easy, we make a nice square. We're going to place them some glue on the sideline, and we're going to place this one on here. Make sure that you have a straight line, and this will be 1. And we're going to do some glue on this side, and we're going to place this one on the inside of this block. And keep it in place for a little moment, and if we do the same like we did over here, then we can easily close it in and make a nice square. So we're going to do again some glue on this side and a little line on the inside. And now we are going to squeeze it in this way and press it down and squeeze a couple of seconds, because glue from your glue gun is drying so very fast. And now you have a nice little piece of the 2 blocks. You can also make them bigger. You can do the 3 blocks, then even bigger and bigger is getting your head. I'm going to do some wood glue, because for this I'm going to use some wood glue. I'm going to do it on the inside, a little over here. I always try to do it as small as I can, but I am always having sometimes too much glue, so don't do it the way I do it. And I'm going to place it on top of here to make sure that you have it in a straight line. And we are going to let this dry. I am busy making the top of our head, but I have to show you also, I always am honest, and I am always show you also the things which are going wrong. I told you just to do some glue on the inside. Of course, that doesn't work because the inside is smaller than your piece which is around your head. So if I'm turning it over, you see already the glue. So you don't, if you do it not the way that I do it, just do, when you have the parts loose from each other, just do some glue on the inside of this piece and then place this part on top of here. It's much better than the way I did it. So I always have to be honest. I always show you also what's going wrong. So don't make the same mistake like I. Just when you have them loose, just to go over here a little glue and then place the little 2 block on top of here. So then you have a nice head. What we're going to do, we're going to turn it over, and I wish I could make the top. I want to make it from wood, but of course you can also take a piece of cardboard, make the line around it, cut it out and glue it on top. But I want to make it from wood, and because I want to make it from wood, I don't get it totally fitting. So I'm going to take 2 blocks like this, the bigger blocks, because this snowman is made from the bigger blocks, and I'm going to as extra I'm going to also try to make the same snowman, but just with the smaller blocks and also with the same numbers of course the same piece like we did, and then it has to be smaller. So but first we're going to finish this one, and I'm going to glue a half block over here like this, and I let this dry for at least a half an hour, and then I'm going to see if I place it on top of here. He is totally fitting, only he is too long. You see it already? He is a little too long, so I'm going to make a line over here which one I need to cut, and I'm really going to cut it out because I love, if you look, that the wood top is very nice. So I hope you have also a handsaw or maybe a jigsaw, and you also can do it from some wood, but you also can do it with some cardboard, like I said. So I'm going to let this dry and then I'm going to cut it out. So I let it dry in for at least a half an hour, and I hope it sticks together. I'm going to lay it on top of here, of course, and I'm going to make sure that I have my line over here. So I think this is the piece which is need to come off, and I'm going to do on this side the same. And then I'm going to make a line. I get my block, I'm going to place it on top, and I'm going to make a nice straight line over here. And I'm going to saw it out. You see, all our parts of our snowman are finished. Of course, I only need to glue this on top of here. So I'm going to get my wood glue, and then we are going to do the extra snowman, because I am also want to try for, because a lot of you are using the Dollar Tree tumbling tower blocks, or maybe Jenga blocks, I don't know how you call them. The one calls them tumbling tower blocks, and the other one is maybe the Jenga blocks, because that's the game. So I'm going to glue this on top of here, and I'm going to line it out, and now let this dry, and everything will be painted later on. But first we are going to go also for the smaller size blocks, and then we're going to make also the snowman. So we will see how this will turn out and how much smaller he really would be, because I never did it one smaller with only the little blocks. So we are going to do now the little blocks. Of course, I hope you're also doing this DIY together with me. For the snowman with the smaller blocks, we are going to take 4 pieces, and of course a half, because we did that also with the bigger ones. A small line on this one, and a small line on this one, and on this, because we need of course a half. This will be the bottom, and we have here a half block, the same like we did this, just a half from the smaller blocks. It was a really task to saw them out because it is so little. So, but I hope you give it a try, because it will work if you have just an I have a table, it's from Black & Decker, and you can squeeze your blocks inside, and then you go with your jigsaw just in between. So, and also you can do it with your handsaw. I'm going to squeeze it, and I'm going to press it and make a nice straight line. So this is already one. We are going to go for again 4 blocks, and we take a half block. So again a nice small line with our wood glue, and a small line here, small line here. If you make this snowman also, I hope you take the effort, and maybe you can send Diane and me also a picture. It is, the email of us is decoeasy NL, and then how you call it here in the net, we call it apenstaartje. You have another word for it, and that's gmail.com. So, but you find it also on our of course our channel in the description. So I have to look it up how you call it in English. Like I said, we call it here in the Netherlands an apenstaartje. I think it's much different than what you have. So I'm going to let this dry in for a little moment, and then we're going to glue them together again. So it dried in for a little moment, and I'm going to do some glue on the sides, and a very thin line on each block, a little glue like this, and we are going to place them together so we get a nice bottom or stand for our snowman. And I looked it up, if I am correctly, we call apenstaartje and you call it an @ if I am correct. At least it is decoeasy NL, an @ and of course then gmail.com. So then I hope I say it right now. So I'm going to let this dry. We are going to now the bottom of our snowman. So we start again with our 4 blocks. And this is 1, and number 2 and number 3, and we place number 4 over here again. Squeeze them together this way, and we have a nice block already. And we're going to do again 4, because we need on top of each other, we have to double it up, and the number 3, and row them together this way and just squeeze it. And we're going to again over to this one and squeeze it also, and we're going to do some glue on each block, because this one we can double up. And we're going to go over and place it on top of each other, squeeze it, press it down, and we place it this way. So now you already have a base of 2 pieces of 4. That's better English. Of course, every time if you have some glue on your table, just take your kitchen towel and just wipe it away, because then you have a neater workspace to work with. We are going to use 3.5. So we're going to go for this one, and this one. And if you are looking already carefully, you see already he is turning much smaller than our other snowman. So we have in the moment we have a big one and a smaller one. So this is already 1. We're going to get 3 blocks again and a half block, and we're going to go for this side and this side and this side, and again row them together this way, and make sure that you have them together, and squeeze it and press it down. And we are going to do some glue on this part, some dots on each block, also the smaller block, and we're going to carefully place it up and place them together, and make sure that you have a space on this side, and this side is the same. I have to place it a little further. Of course I have to work with it, because or else he doesn't fit this way. And now we're going to do some glue on this, and you see we have here the smaller one, so we want the smaller one over here, and we do some glue, and we're going to place it in this way, squeeze it and press it down, and we have to work with it. And now you already have this part again, and now we go over for the 3 ones, and you see already I have some glue, and normally I do it out of camera, you don't see it, but I think maybe you also it's handy if you have a little bit of a wet kitchen towel at hand, of an old towel, so you can wipe away every time you are messing glue. And you see here, squeeze it, and this is already number 1, because we need a little bit of a round tummy for his, do I say it right? Tummy, is that the front side of your body? I think it is, if it isn't. At least I hope it is. Your belly? Belly maybe, I don't know. I always make so, for me already English is a language, sometimes it's a little hard, but like I always tell you, I'm doing my best. So we are going to do 3 blocks also on top of the other one. So we do some glue, and we're going to place it again on this side one, and just do it, and this one on this side, and again make sure that the spaces in between are the same, then you get a nice shape on it. And now we go for the 2-piece. Of course you can even make it bigger and go for a 2.5 and then a 2, but I think I'm going for the 2-piece right now, because or else it will be very big. So I made a choice for only the 2 blocks, but do whatever you think is right. I'm going to do also this one, and now we can do them together, this block and this block for the front side and the back side of our snowman. And for everyone who already knows, we always shall do the Dutch word of the day every day at 5 p.m. We are doing the Dutch word of the day. So maybe you also can look for that again. Then you see already how difficult sometimes it is. For me, English is difficult, but I think maybe for a lot of you, the Dutch words are a little bit more difficult. And so you learn also a second language with it. And sometimes words are also the same. So maybe you can check it out also if you like to learn a little bit of the Dutch language also. Because not everyone knows that we are from the Netherlands and not from America or Canada or Australia, because we talk English and they just think we are really, we just speak very bad English. But maybe they are so right. But maybe you can also try then some Dutch. So this is already the underpiece of our snowman. You see, I could do it a little closer. You also can count them and you can see how your underside of your snowman have to turn out. Now I'm going to do the top. So for his head, we are going to get of course, our 3 blocks. For the front and the back sides, just very easy. Row the 3 together this way. And we're going to go for another 3. And the last, and this one. And we are going to row them together also. I hope you can get those smaller blocks and of course also the bigger blocks, so you can do both of the sizes of our snowman. But you also can do 2 smaller ones like from the Dollar Tree blocks. So I hope, but the bigger ones I think in other countries a little bit harder to get. I can easily get the bigger ones, and I hear from a lot of you, you can find better the smaller ones. So it's a little different than we have here. So again, squeeze it, and now we have our middle piece. We are going to do now a 2.5 this way and this way, and we're going to take a half like this, and we're going to place it together, squeeze it again and lay it apart. We're going to do another one of 2.5, and he gets a nice size. Of course he is smaller, but I really love the size. And again, small. And now in a moment then we will have a bigger one and a smaller one. That's also a great thing. Or else you can also from the bigger blocks, you can count just a simple NB with the bigger blocks. We started also with the 4 blocks, but you can start of course with the underbody with 3 blocks and then go smaller. So again, do some glue on this side. We are going to do on each block a couple of dots. And we're going to place it against here. Make sure also again here that you have it in the middle. And we have here the smaller block, so we want the other smaller block on the other side. So we're going to turn it over, do some glue on here again, and we're going to place it over here. Squeeze it, press it down. And now you get already this shape. And now we need only the 2 blocks, because we are going to do the front and the back side of the head and the body with 2-piece ending, because then you still can do some decoration on the front and on the back side, just what you want. And you have some space for your eyes and nose. And I'm already not looking forward to making the face, because like a lot of you already know me, I am really awful at making eyes and nose, and so I would always try to make it myself easy, but I do my best. And even with the nutcracker, I did the nutcracker 2 DIYs earlier, like this one. If you like the nutcrackers for Christmas, just check it out. But I did the nutcrackers also plain. I only made a wooden nose. Later on I made a moustache, but of course You can give it some eyes like always, and I also recommend it with your snowman. Do whatever you think is right. I just show you most of the time the base. And again, I'm going to place this over here, and we're going to do some glue on this side. Also over here. And I'm going to place this one over here and make sure that we have it in the middle again. And this way. Now we already have also this part, and now we need the head of the snowman. For the snowman's head we are going to get again 4 blocks, and we are going to do the same like we did with the bigger one, because this is a little bit of a challenge to look for the bigger blocks against the smaller blocks. And we are going to do some glue on this top of our block and squeeze this one over here. And now we do need some glue on this top and on the inside of this block. And then we can easily place it in, squeeze it and press it down. And so we get a nice square. Of course we have to work a little with it and remove the glue. And this is already your square. We are going to lay this apart. Now we're going to do the same. We're going to do 2 blocks on the side. And again, squeeze it and press it down. And another one, and we're going to make 4 of them, because we are going to make also a square of this one. And this is number 3. Again, squeeze it, press it down. And I will remove the glue. And the last. Again, this way. Now I'm going to do some glue on the side, and I'm going to place this one over here and make sure that you have it in a straight line and keep it in place a couple of seconds until it is dried up. Now I'm going to do some glue on this block, and I'm going to place it on the inside of the block this way. Let it dry. And now we only need on the smaller side some block of some glue, and of course on the inside of this block. And then we can very easily again squeeze this one in and squeeze this one over here, and make sure that we have a nice square. And this is already how it's turning out. We are going to get our wood glue again. And I'm going to do it now the right way. I'm going to glue it on this side and not on the side I showed you earlier, just on the inside of this one, over here and just over here. And I'm going to place my top over here and have to look for if I am in the right spot. Oh yeah, I'm almost here, and I'm going to squeeze it. I take my brush like this, and I'm going to keep my head in the middle like this and wipe away on a piece of kitchen towel your glue, which you don't need. Of course, the most of the glue dries up clearly, but you don't want to have too much glue on the sides. And if you still see some white of the glue, you can take some scissors and you can very easily get it away. So like this, and I'm going to let this dry. And again, I'm going to glue 3 blocks together, because if we need 3 blocks, of course, we have our top, but he is already too big with 3. So we need 2.5. So I'm going to take a half block again. I have to get it out of my bag. Sorry for that. This is already a bigger one. Of course, I need a half one. And this way. And he can be a little bit bigger because he's a little bit too small. I'm going to look for it and then I show it to you. So I found my blocks. I'm going to use 2 of the whole blocks. And I'm going to glue them together this way. And I'm going to take a half block again. And I'm going to glue it together. And squeeze it and let it dry for a couple of seconds again. this way. And now I'm going to get my pencil and I'm going to place it upside here and I'm going to measure out where I need to make a cut, because you see already, if I keep it too short, I need a little smaller. So I'm going to get my saw and I'm going to saw out a little piece. So I made this piece a little smaller and now he's fitting on top of my head. And of course I'm going to do some glue. I will do it on a little bit on the inside, like this, over here. And I'm going to place it on top. Of course I have to look. And this way, and I try to get the middle. And I'm going to squeeze it and press it down and let this dry also. So if you did this DIY also the same way like I did with the smaller blocks, you will notice that the smaller blocks I made one little, not a mistake of course, but I did on the underside, I did 2 pieces of 4 and then I did a 3.5 and then a 2.5 and then a 2. But with this one I did 4 blocks, 2 4 blocks, 3 of 2 from 3.5 and here one from 3 and 2. That's a little different than this one. If you make it this way, like this, then you need, because or else your front cannot stand on his own, because you will miss one line of your block. So I did glue 2 blocks again on top of here, because we only needed this piece, or we had this piece, and I did 2 blocks extra, just these 2 blocks I did extra on top of here, because or else he didn't fit on here. So I hope I explained it well. If you don't, if you have questions, just let me know. But if you see the bottoms, you will see already the difference. If I have it correctly, like this, you see already the difference. But you can make it like this way, then you don't have to glue extra. But if you make the smaller blocks, because he's then a little bit more bigger, because or else he will be very small, then you need to glue 2 extra blocks on here. So then, and you see now he's totally fitting on here. What I'm going to do before we're going to paint everything, I'm going to glue, of course, like we did with the bigger one, this one on top of here. So we do some glue very easily. And so you see, you learn every day and also do things different than you thought you did the same, but you did. But I did it again, some different. So every person learns every day, and that's a great thing. So I'm going to turn it over and look if every side is the same, like this. And I'm going to squeeze it and press it down. And we're going to let it dry, and we are going to start with the bottoms in the black color, and we're going to start with the heads in the black color. So that is the first step we're going to do. You see, I have 2 heads and 2 bottoms, and I'm going to get my school board paint black. But if you like the bottom maybe another color, it's also fine too. And snowman's heads are sometimes also in the brown color, so do whatever you think is right. I'm going to paint both of the pieces in the black. So I won't bore you with that, so we do that with some music. Now we have our head and of course our stand in the black color. We are going to do the head and the body, of course, also in the white chalk paint. I don't know if it needs more than one color, or maybe I leave it that the wood is also coming through. I will see how it turns out. So, but I'm going to give it a nice white look. all our pieces are dried up almost. And what we're going to do before I'm going to build our snowman further, I'm going to give with some felt. You see already, because I don't want to scratch my table, I'm going to cut one square one in 4 pieces. So we have a nice little corner this way, and I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to place them on here, just very easy. So I am sure that my table is not scratched this way. And again, I have to cut this one in half, and I'm going to do this one. And of course, maybe black one would have been nicer, but if you are really disturbed by the white color, you also can do with some marker, some dots over here, and then you also have a black one. So this is already one. We are going to do for the second one also. So again, in half, and this one in half, and this one. So I will finish this up, and then we're going to build our snowman further. All our pieces are painted and are ready to glue, but first what we're going to do, we're going to decorate the body, because we are going to deal with some buttons, some eyes, a nose, and the rest you can fill in for yourself. I will lay this apart, and then we're going to glue in a moment everything together. But first I'm going to go for the big one, and I always have a bag with wooden buttons and of course other stuff. I always keep everything, so I chose out 2 little buttons for the smaller one for this one, and the bigger ones for this one. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do some furniture wax on them, because I want to keep it a little bit more rustic, but you can give it a color, do anything you like. So I'm going to get my pencil, and I'm just going to make this, at least it's a little bit too much too much wax. Of course, I'm going to lay this apart, and I'm just going to make this in the furniture wax like this. And my buttons are in the wax, and I'm going to glue the bigger one on here. So I'm just going to do some hot glue over here, and I'm just going to place it over here, and I'm going to do the other one. But if you don't like buttons, you also can do anything you like. Just do what is right for you. But I'm just going to show you, I like always the wooden button, because I like, I don't know why, but I like buttons. Maybe there's something for me like this. And of course the last one. And we're going to place it over here. And now we already have this one already finished. What we're going to do right now, we are going to take a nose. And like all of you know, I'm not a great maker of noses, eyes and mouth. So don't expect me to to draw beautiful things for you, because I can't. There are so many beautiful creators here on YouTube which are making the most beautiful faces. So if you want to learn how to do that, then maybe you can look over there, because they are amazing. But I'm going to just do a nose. This way I have from these wooden pieces. This is supposed to be in a package for the Easter season, and this was supposed to be a tree. I don't see a tree in it, but it doesn't matter. I like the shapes of it, and I think maybe I can use it for something, and now I can. So I use the bigger one for the nose for this one, and the smaller one for this one. But first I'm going to get my marker, because I make it myself easy, and I'm going to do it in the orange color. The nose is in the orange color, and I have here some googly eyes. I always have a bag of googly eyes, because I make it myself easy, and I'm going to go for this shape. I hope you can see it on camera like this, and I'm going to it are sticker eyes, and I'm going to stick them on top of here and on top of here, and I'm going to do that before I'm going to do the nose. Now our eyes are on top of our snowman, and I'm going to glue now the nose, and I'm going to glue it in the middle of the eyes, just under it. So I'm just going to do some glue and I'm going to place it just under the eyes, and I hope I have it in the middle, and keep it in place for a little moment until he's dried up. I don't know if he's much too heavy, we will see. And this is how the bigger one is looking like. I'm going to go for the smaller one, also do a little glue first in the inside and then on the outside, and we're going to glue it also between the eyes like this. This is already the smaller one. Now I'm going to take a piece of my red velvet ribbon, and I take a smaller one and I'm going to cut out just a piece, and I'm going to make a scarf for the snowman. So we're going to go for the bigger one, and very easy, just place it totally below on the head, and I'm going to go over it and just do it as you normally have your scarf. Scarf is, I think I have it right, but like this. And I'm just going to go for a little knot, and I'm going to let it hang down. Of course, we still need to work with it because he needs to come down a little more like this, and he has to be exactly down. And we are going to make sure that the velvet side is coming on this side, and I'm going to go and make some fishtails on here. So squeeze it double like this, and I'm going to cut it this way, and now we have little fishtails on it, and I'm going to place it down like this. So we already have his own little scarf, and we are going to do also that on the inside of the underside of our head. We are going to do the same. So I have here a little piece of ribbon also, and I'm going to do some glue on the ending, just a little drop, and I'm going to look for where I want to have my head on his head, because one side is always prettier than another side, so you have to look first. Then I'm going to glue this on the back side this way. I'm going to go around the lines like this, turn it over, and do on the ending of the ribbon also a little dot of glue, and then we're going to lay it very easily over the other one. And then you see you have a nice piece of your head, and we can decorate it of course with some greenery and some berries. I have to think about it, but first what we're going to do, we are going to make a broom for our snowman, and we are going to make it ourselves because I don't have a broom laying around, so I'm going to try to make one of my own. And of course, again, this DIY will be much longer than I want to be. So I hope you have some time because it takes always longer with me. So now we're going to make a broom for our thing. And before I'm going to do this, we're also going to glue everything together. So before we go further with our broom, because we can glue it very easy later on top, we are going to make the stand. And I have the smaller blocks because we use also at the ending half blocks. I'm going to do on the back side. I'm going to turn over my snowman, and I'm going to do in the middle some wood glue. Of course, a little around this way, like this, and we are going to place it in the middle of our stand. And I have to look if I have it almost already on the space that I want to have it. This way, and I think I already am in the middle. So I'm going to squeeze it, press it down this way, and we're going to squeeze this one also. And what we're going to do, we're going to do some glue on the inside of our head, and this way, and just a little more. So, and then we're going to place it on top of our snowman. Of course, again, look where the middle is and try to find it. And I have to be sure on the side and the front that I have it in the middle. So this is how our little snowman is looking like already. You see it in a moment much better, but first we're going to make our broom. So for our broom, we are going to take from the bigger blocks, we are going to do 2 of the halves, and from the smaller blocks which you can buy with Dollar Tree. A lot of you have the smaller blocks. We are also do 2 halves, and we are going to glue them together. So do a little drop on the top. So very easy. Do some over here and glue them together this way. And remove the glue we don't need. And we're going to do for this one the same. And I'm going to make sure, because I want to have this top on the top side. So because they have been sawed, so then the sides are not, of course, totally flat. So look for the right and the best way to make the top. So you see, very simple, 2 halves, and here 2 halves of the smaller one. What we're going to do, we're going to take our twine. I'm going to cut a piece off because this one is very open already. I'm going to cut it off, and I'm going to do some glue. I think maybe from this block, I think the 1/3. Just do some glue over here. Well, place your twine inside, just over here, and wait until it is dry, because or else it doesn't help when you're already going to turn it and it's already coming loose. So make sure that it is dried up this way. And now what we're going to do, we're just going to do a couple of turns, and I have to be sure that I have it really tight this way. And we go very easy to the underside, and we are going to cut it off and do some glue on the ending and lay our twine inside. It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't matter, because you won't see it later, but you still see a little piece of the twine coming out our underside of the broom. So very easy, just like this. And we are going to do, of course, the same with this one. I have to be look which one I want to have on top. I think here. So I'm going to do some glue 1/3 of the block like this, and lay your twine in here again, just like this. Keep it in place for a couple of seconds until it is dried up. And now we're going to go this way, and we go one a little higher than the other one, and then go over it, and we're going to go our way down. But there is no way you have to do it, just do whatever you think it's right. And I'm going to cut it off, and like this, do some glue, and we're going to lay our twine carefully inside, so don't burn yourself. And I'm going to squeeze it. And now we already have one part of our broom finished. Now we are going to, because I need to get away of the lime wire. So again, 2 pieces. I'm going to take my twine, and I'm going to make like this a couple of turns, but at least when I have enough for a broom, this way. And I'm going to squeeze it. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to get it in my hand this way, and I'm going to get my twine, and I'm going to make very squeeze very hard, and I'm going to go around. Maybe I can show it to you this way, it's a little better. And I still hear this little piece we had on our hands, this one for later. But first we're going to squeeze it, and we go up, and we go up like this, and we go as far as we can, and this way, and this way. And we're going to take our scissors, We are going to cut it off and we're going to do some glue in the twine. And we're going to lay this open piece over here. Already my glue gun is already had enough of it. He's already falling down. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't, we don't care. Like this. And we already have a little piece of our broom. Of course, this will be a very simple broom. If you have better ideas, of course, go ahead and make your own broom. And I'm going to cut this open, of course, like this. And I can cut it on size. And I'm going to work a little bit it. And of course, you can also make a wider broom, but I'm not really good in that, so I have to do what I can. And now we are going to make a little flat piece this way. So we're going to work a little bit our scissors to get this one inside and this. So we get a little bit of a flat surface. And then we're going to take our broom and we are going to glue this on here. So very easily do some glue on the top over here. We are going to place it on our stick and we are going to squeeze it real hard, really hard. This way we let this dry in until it is totally dry, because we use a little bit, a lot of glue, because I want to be sure that it stays in place. This way. And now we are going to work away the parts we don't. He's still not totally dry, so I have to wait a couple of seconds. And you see here, if you see in the middle over here, you see open spots. We don't like that. We want to make a nice clean surface. What we're going to do, we go halfway our stick, we're going to do a drop of our glue. Lay again your piece in twine inside of here. This way, make sure that it sticks all right, because normally I want always too fast to show it to you, so it doesn't take too much of your time. Again, go one higher and then go lower and lower and lower and lower and lower and lower until we are there. And now we are going to again cut it off again, and we're going to do some glue in the piece of twine, and we are laying our ending over here. And now we have a nice ending of our broom. And you see, I think he is so cute. But of course, maybe a lot of people saying, what is he making? At least I'm really happy so he can be with our snowman. But before we're going to do, I'm going to make the second one, and then I'm going to do this one in some furniture wax. Before I'm going to do it in some furniture wax, of course, I don't like the middle piece where you can see that it's glued together. So we are going to take a little glue again and a piece of twine, lay it again inside, wait until it is dried, and we're going to make a couple of turns to work away the glue side which we glued together, because I don't like that you see that piece. Of course, I have to wait. I want to do it too fast, like this. And I'm going to go one turn over it, and we're going to go down and down, and a couple of turns extra. You can do as much as you like, which one you like the best. And I'm going to cut it out over here this way, and I'm doing some glue in the middle line, and I'm going to place it on here. And now I'm going to really do it in some furniture wax. We finished our brooms, and I'm going to glue it on the side of our snowman. Maybe I do some greenery on here. I don't know yet, but you can choose anything you like. Do you like greenery? Then you do some greenery and some berries. If you don't, he is also already very lovely like on his own. So I am going to finish it off, and in a moment you see the quick impression. And here you see a quick impression of our tumbling tower blocks snowman, and I'm so happy how both of them turned out. Of course, I hope you did this DIY together with me and you also made two snowmen for yourself and gave your own twist on it, because always this is just an inspiration. You can do anything you like. Of course, if you were just here just to watch, of course, I hope you had fun watching. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, of course, I hope you will click the red subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. It would help my channel a lot, and of course it doesn't cost you anything. Do you want to see more DIYs? Come on over to my description box. There you find the link for all our DIY channels. Hope to see you there. Have an amazing day everyone, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.